Ever feel like your emotions control you more than you control them? Or that the chaos of life keeps pulling you off track? What if you could train your mind to stay calm, focused, and unshakable, no matter what life throws at you? In this video, we're diving into 15 powerful Stoic lessons that will help you master yourself from the inside out. These are time-tested teachings that guided warriors, emperors, and thinkers through the storms of life, and they can guide you too. If you're ready to strengthen your mind, calm your emotions, and live with more clarity and control, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Stoic Legacy, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a powerful insight. Let's walk this path of inner mastery together. Stoic Lesson 1. Begin the day with intention. Your first thoughts in the morning are powerful. They set the tone for everything that follows. The Stoics knew this well. They didn't just wake up and react to the world, they prepared for it. Marcus Aurelius began each day by reminding himself, "Today I will meet people who are selfish, ignorant, and ungrateful." But instead of being discouraged, he accepted this truth with calm readiness. Why? Because preparation gives you peace. When you wake up, don't let your phone or the rush of the world hijack your mind. Before the noise starts, give yourself a moment of silence. Breathe deeply. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? Patient? Brave? Honest? Let that be your foundation. You're not just waking up, you're entering a test of character. The modern world pushes urgency, reaction, speed. But the Stoic path is about slowing down, choosing clarity, and moving with intention. It's about remembering that you can't control the outside world, but you can always control how you respond to it. And that control begins the moment you open your eyes. Set a simple intention for the day. Maybe it's, "Today, I won't complain." Or "Today, I will pause before reacting." Let that quiet promise guide your actions. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up on purpose. Living with direction, not distraction. Start each day like a Stoic, not rushed, not reactive, but centered, ready to meet life with grace, wisdom, and steady strength. Stoic Lesson 2. Own your response. Always. You don't control the weather. You don't control other people's moods. You don't even control the traffic or the outcome of your efforts. But what you always control, without exception, is how you respond. That is the core of Stoic power. Epictetus put it simply, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The Stoic doesn't waste energy trying to bend the world to their will. Instead, they master their inner world, the space between stimulus and response. That space is where your freedom lives. When someone criticizes you, you can flare up, or you can pause and examine if there's truth in it. When plans fall apart, you can complain, or adapt. When you're overlooked or misunderstood, you can sulk, or stay focused on your purpose. These moments are tests. And each one offers you a chance to prove who you really are. You are not your anger. You are not your fear. You are not even your first reaction. You are what you choose next. This is not about suppression. Stoicism isn't about pretending to feel nothing. It's about choosing not to be ruled by what you feel in the moment. It's about deciding to act with reason, not impulse. Start noticing those split seconds before you react. That's your power zone. A deep breath, a mental reset, a reminder of your values. These tiny choices separate the reactive from the resilient. Owning your response means taking full accountability for your side of the street, no matter what chaos is happening outside. In a world of blame and reactivity, the Stoic remains grounded, not because life is easier for them, but because they've trained their mind to respond with strength, not struggle. Every situation is an opportunity to practice that power. Stoic Lesson 3: Embrace stillness in a world obsessed with speed, noise, and constant stimulation. Stillness has become a radical act. But for the Stoic, stillness is not inactivity, it's clarity. It's the calm center from which all wise action flows. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and Stoic philosopher, ruled an empire while writing quietly to himself. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Stillness isn't about retreating from life, it's about showing up with presence. When your mind is still, you see clearly. You respond with wisdom. You're no longer a prisoner of urgency or chaos. Take time each day to pause. No distractions. No scrolling. No noise. Even 5 minutes of silence can reconnect you to your center. This is where reflection lives. This is where gratitude grows. This is where truth isn't drowned out by the world shouting. Stillness teaches patience. When you're still, you don't rush into anger. You don't chase every impulse. You don't react to every comment or crisis. You wait. You watch. You choose. This is the power of the unshaken mind that in stillness, you meet yourself. Your fears, your hopes, your habits, everything surfaces when the noise fades. And that's a good thing. Because what you see, you can understand. And what you understand, you can master. Stillness is not weakness. It's strength under control. It's the warrior who doesn't draw their sword at every slight. It's the leader who listens before speaking. It's the individual who, even amid storms, remains centered. Make stillness part of your daily discipline. Whether it's meditation, journaling, a slow walk, or sitting quietly in your room, honor that space. Because the world will pull you in every direction. But if you're still inside, nothing can truly shake you. Stoic Lesson 4: Practice voluntary discomfort. Discomfort is often thought of as something to avoid. We cushion our lives, chase convenience, and measure success by how little we suffer. Yet the Stoics saw things differently. They knew that strength and resilience are forged in discomfort, not ease. Seneca famously slept on a simple mat instead of a plush bed. Epictetus, once a slave, endured hardship without complaint and taught that we should occasionally embrace the things we fear most: cold water, hunger, solitude. Why? Because by choosing small hardships today, we prepare our minds and hearts for the inevitable trials of tomorrow. Imagine taking a cold shower first thing in the morning. Your body reacts. You gasp. Your instinct is to flee. But then your mind kicks in. I can endure this. In that moment, you prove something to yourself. You're stronger than you thought. That simple act carries through your day. Deadlines feel lighter, setbacks less crushing, criticism less sharp. Voluntary discomfort sharpens gratitude. When you fast for a meal, you taste food more fully afterward. When you walk instead of drive, you notice the sky and the breeze. When you switch off your phone for an hour, you reconnect with your own thoughts. These small sacrifices remind you what truly matters, and strip away the addiction to comfort that numbs your spirit. This isn't about suffering for suffering's sake. It's about building capacity. Just as muscles grow stronger when they're stressed, your character grows when you face chosen challenges. The Stoic aims not to avoid pain, but to master it, to know that pain is not an enemy, but a guide that shows where growth lies. Start small. Skip your usual sugar in coffee. Wear a lighter jacket on a chilly day. Take a brisk walk without music. Each tiny friction point is a gym for your mind. Each time you say, "I can handle this," you rewrite your inner narrative from "I'm fragile" to "I'm capable." And when real hardship comes, a loss, an illness, a betrayal, you'll meet it with readiness. You won't collapse under the weight. You'll stand firm because you've trained for it. You'll say, "This is hard, but I've practiced." That practice isn't about boastfulness, it's about calm confidence born of preparation. Voluntary discomfort blunts the power of fear. You learn that you aren't defined by comfort, but by your responses. You become flexible like bamboo in a storm, able to bend without breaking. You'll find yourself more adaptable, more present, more grateful for the simple joys of life. So today, choose one small discomfort. Lean into it. Observe how your mind reacts. Notice the shift in your confidence. Then hold that feeling close. It's the proof that you're capable of more than you know, and the first step toward a life lived fully awake. Stoic Lesson 5. Use negative visualization. It may sound grim at first, imagining the loss of what you love. But to the Stoics, this practice was a gateway to deeper peace, sharper gratitude, and emotional resilience. It's called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, and it asks us to picture life without the things we cherish most. Why would anyone willingly think of losing a loved one, their health, their status, or their comfort? Because one day, those things will change or disappear. Life is fragile, uncertain, and in constant motion. The Stoic doesn't hide from that truth, they lean into it. Not to suffer unnecessarily, but to wake up to the beauty of what they still have. When you imagine not having something, you appreciate it more. Your child's laugh, your partner's presence, your morning walk, all become gifts, not guarantees. Gratitude deepens when we realize these blessings are on loan, not permanent fixtures. You no longer take them for granted. You cherish them today, but negative visualization also serves as a shield. By rehearsing loss, you become more mentally prepared for it. You begin to understand that while grief is real and pain is natural, being destroyed by it isn't necessary. You can endure, adapt, and even grow from what once would have broken you. Think of it like mental armor. You're not obsessing over doom, you're training your heart to accept life as it truly is. You're softening the blow of the future by facing it, briefly, in the present. And in doing so, you build strength. You reduce your fear. You stop clinging. This doesn't mean you become cold or distant. In fact, it makes you more compassionate, more connected. You hold your loved ones a little tighter. You speak with more kindness. You stop waiting for some future moment to live fully, because you understand that this moment is already enough. Here's how to try it. Close your eyes for a minute and imagine your home gone, your job lost, your health declined. Sit with it. Feel the discomfort. Then open your eyes and look around. Feel the richness of what's still with you. That shift, that wave of appreciation, is the power of Stoic practice. When you approach life with this perspective, even chaos feels manageable. You're not surprised by change, you've trained for it. You meet hardship with grace and gratitude, not panic or despair. You stop demanding that life be fair, and instead become strong enough to handle whatever life gives. In a world obsessed with gain, this practice teaches the beauty of impermanence. It reminds you that every smile, every touch, every quiet moment is fleeting, and therefore precious. It transforms everyday life into something sacred. So before your day gets away from you, pause. Visualize the absence of what you treasure. Then return with deeper thanks. You haven't lost anything, you've just remembered its value. And in doing so, you've taken a step closer to true calm. Stoic Lesson 6. Turn the obstacle into the path. What if the thing standing in your way was the way? This is one of the most powerful Stoic lessons, simple in words, life-changing in practice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacle isn't your enemy, it's your training ground. Every setback, every delay, every frustration in your life is a hidden opportunity to grow stronger. But we often resist these moments. We complain, we shrink, we wish it were easier. The Stoic does the opposite. They lean in. They ask, how is this challenge shaping me? What skills is it demanding? What virtues can I strengthen right now? Think about it. Without resistance, muscles don't grow. Without hardship, patience doesn't develop. Without pain, compassion rarely blossoms. What you're facing right now, whether it's heartbreak, rejection, failure, or even boredom, is a call to rise. It's a forge. And you are the metal. This lesson shifts your mindset from victim to warrior. You stop asking, why me, and start asking, what now? That's power. That's freedom. You're no longer dependent on perfect conditions. You create value from any condition. Lost your job? Now's the time to find clarity and rediscover your strength. Arguing with someone? Practice calm, not control. Faced with illness? Cultivate endurance and gratitude. Each obstacle is a mirror, showing you who you are and who you're capable of becoming. The Stoics didn't sugarcoat life. They lived in a brutal world, full of war, plague, betrayal. But they didn't just survive it, they used it. Epictetus was a slave. Marcus Aurelius ruled during a pandemic and constant wars. Seneca faced exile and personal tragedy. None of them wished for an easier life. They built a stronger self. Here's a daily Stoic practice. When something goes wrong today, stop and say, good. Not in denial, but in determination. Good, now I can practice patience. Good, now I can adapt. Good, now I get to test my strength. You're not pretending the pain isn't real, you're refusing to be ruled by it. This mindset makes you anti-fragile. You don't just recover, you rebound stronger. Failure becomes feedback. Delay becomes discipline. Criticism becomes clarity. The more life tries to knock you down, the more unshakable you become. This is not motivation fluff. It's the core of Stoic practice, transmutation. Turning trials into tools. Turning wounds into wisdom. Turning life into training. So when something blocks your path, don't run. Don't curse it. Step back and look again. Maybe it's not blocking your path, maybe it is the path. The detour is the destination. And with each step forward, you're becoming not just calmer, but more capable. Not just wiser, but more whole. If you're ready to take this power even deeper, stay with us for Lesson 7. It's time to stop chasing results and start living by principle. And if this lesson helped you shift your mindset even 1%, consider liking the video, subscribing to Stoic Legacy, and sharing it with someone who's facing a challenge of their own. Your obstacle may just be their inspiration. Stoic Lesson 7. Focus on virtue, not outcome. In a world obsessed with results, likes, money, recognition, the Stoic walks a different path. Instead of chasing outcomes, they focus on how they live. Not what they get, but who they become. The Stoics believed the only thing truly in our control is our character. You can't fully control how others respond, what the market does, whether your plan succeeds. But you can control if you act with courage, discipline, honesty, and kindness. That's virtue, and for the Stoic, that's the real success. Let's say you speak your truth with grace and respect, but the other person still walks away. That's not failure. If you stayed true to your principles, you've won. Or imagine working hard on a project, pouring your best into it, but it doesn't get the recognition you hoped for. The Stoic doesn't spiral, they reflect, did I give my best? Was I honest, focused, and patient? If the answer is yes, they rest easy, because when you measure success by outcome, you become a prisoner of things you can't control. But when you measure it by virtue, you're free. No one can take that away from you. Epictetus said it best, the chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Outcomes are externals. They come and go. Virtue is internal. It's who you are in the storm, not what you gain from it. This doesn't mean you shouldn't aim high or care about results. It means results don't define you. You still work, build, dream, but without needing everything to go right in order to stay steady inside. You play the game with intensity, but without ego. Because your worth is rooted in effort, not applause. In a way, Stoicism is the antidote to burnout. When you obsess over outcomes, you stress over things beyond you. When you focus on virtue, you stay centered, no matter what happens. You're not chasing validation, you're practicing excellence. Today, choose one task, big or small, and do it with full attention and integrity. Don't worry about how it'll be received. Worry about how you show up. Did you act with patience? Were you fair? Did you hold yourself to your standard, even when no one was watching? That's the Stoic scoreboard, and when the results arrive, whether sweet or bitter, you can smile either way. Because your peace didn't depend on them. Your peace came from knowing you lived your values. Next time, we explore emotional mastery, not suppression, but strength through understanding. If you're finding value here, please subscribe, like, and comment. Let's grow in virtue together, one calm, clear action at a time. Stoic Lesson 8. Master your emotions before they master you. Emotions are powerful. They can inspire us or derail us in an instant. Yet the Stoics taught that our feelings don't have to dictate our actions. Instead, we can learn to observe and guide them with reason. Epictetus reminded us, no man is free who is not master of himself. True freedom begins when you refuse to be swept away by anger, fear, or desire. First, recognize that emotions are messages, not mandates. Anger signals a boundary has been crossed, fear warns of potential danger, desire shows what you value. Instead of reacting on impulse, pause and ask, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Then choose your response deliberately. That pause, however brief, breaks the cycle of automatic reaction. Next, practice naming your emotions. When frustration arises, say quietly, I feel frustrated. When anxiety creeps in, acknowledge, I feel worried. Research shows that putting names to feelings calms the nervous system and creates mental distance. You remain the observer, not the victim. Cultivate a daily habit of reflection. At day's end, review moments when emotions ran high. Ask, what triggered me? How did I respond? What could I do differently next time? This isn't self-criticism, it's self-coaching. Each insight you gain strengthens your emotional resilience. Remember Marcus Aurelius' advice, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. In other words, you assign the meaning, and you can reassign it. A criticism can be reframed as feedback. A delay can become an opportunity for preparation. That shift in perspective turns emotional turbulence into calm clarity. Finally, anchor yourself in breath. When emotions surge, take 3 slow, deep breaths. Feel the air filling your lungs and then exhaling tension. You'll find that this simple act creates a moment of stillness, a chance to choose reason over reaction. By mastering your emotions, you become the pilot of your life, not a passenger in a storm. With each pause, each reflection, each breath, you build inner strength. And that strength becomes the foundation for lasting calm, no matter what life brings. Stoic Lesson 9. Practice memento mori. Life is fleeting. Every breath, every moment, carries the possibility of its last. Memento mori, remember you will die, isn't meant to cast a shadow, but to light a fire under your days. Instead of fearing mortality, the Stoic uses it as an urgent reminder to live fully, wisely, and with purpose. Begin each morning by briefly reflecting on death. Imagine this day as your last. What would you say? Whom would you cherish? Which tasks would truly matter? This practice quickly separates trivial worries from the essentials. The email you're fretting over? It may pale in comparison to the chance to connect with someone you love. The small failure that haunts you? It's just a moment in a grander story. Carry a small symbol, perhaps a simple bracelet, a written note, or a coin, so that whenever you see it, you pause and recall the brevity of life. In that pause, you regain perspective. You choose gratitude over complaint, generosity over selfishness, courage over comfort. You ask, am I using this time well? Reflecting on mortality also dissolves fear. When you truly accept that loss and pain are part of the human journey, you become resilient. You realize that if you can face the idea of death, you can face any challenge, rejection, betrayal, failure, with steadiness. You understand that every setback is temporary, every joy precious. At night, journal 1 lesson learned, 1 kindness experienced, and 1 small regret you can address tomorrow. This ritual transforms the abstract concept of death into practical fuel for growth. You live each day with intention, not postponement. Memento mori isn't morbid, it's liberating. It reminds you that time is your most precious asset. Use it well. Let the thought of mortality sharpen your focus, deepen your gratitude, and ignite your resolve to become the person you truly want to be. Stoic Lesson 10. Amor fati. Love everything that happens. Amor fati means love of fate. Instead of merely accepting whatever life delivers, Stoics learn to embrace it, as if every twist, setback, and surprise is exactly what they asked for. This isn't passive resignation, it's active gratitude for the raw material of your growth. Imagine your plans fall apart. A project fails, a relationship ends, or you face an unexpected challenge. Most people resist, complain, or feel betrayed by life. The Stoic says, "Good. This is exactly the lesson I need." By choosing to love your fate, you transform obstacles into opportunities, pain into training, and uncertainty into adventure. How do you practice amor fati today? First, when something unwanted happens, pause. Breathe deeply and say, "Thank you." Not because you relish hardship, but because you recognize it's shaping you. That mental shift flips frustration into curiosity. What gift might this event hold? Next, journal 1 way this negative event could benefit you. A missed deadline could mean you'll learn deeper discipline. A tough conversation could awaken empathy. Writing these reframes trains your mind to spot the hidden value in every moment. Finally, carry a mantra. Everything is exactly as it should be. When worry rises about the future or regret gnaws at the past, repeat it. You'll find the phrase anchors you in acceptance and opens your eyes to lessons you once overlooked. A more fatty turns the Stoic into an alchemist, someone who transmutes life's lead into gold. You begin to greet each sunrise, each setback, and each stranger's criticism with the same openness. You no longer pray for the storm to pass. You learn to dance in the rain. Loving your fate, you free yourself from resentment and regret. You stop battling what is, and instead, collaborate with it. You become resilient not by avoiding pain, but by integrating every experience into your path forward. Start today. The next time life surprises you, good or bad, smile inwardly and whisper, "This is my destiny." Then ask, "How will I make the most of it?" That simple act of love for your fate will bring you closer to unshakable peace. Stoic Lesson 11. Journal for clarity. In the rush of daily life, our minds become cluttered with tasks, worries, and endless to-dos. Stoicism teaches that clarity is not found in noise but in reflection. Keeping a brief, consistent journal is one of the most powerful ways to gain insight into your thoughts, actions, and values, and to course correct before you drift off course. Begin each morning or end each evening with just a few lines. Don't overthink it. Your journal isn't for perfection, it's for honesty. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What challenge shook me? What lesson did I learn? By putting these reflections on paper, you transform fleeting thoughts into lasting awareness. Writing down your experiences serves two purposes. First, it anchors your Stoic practice in real life. When you record how you handled a situation, whether you paused before reacting, embraced discomfort, or turned an obstacle into opportunity, you reinforce that behavior. Seeing your own progress on the page builds confidence and creates momentum for continued growth. Second, journaling brings hidden patterns into view. Are there recurring situations that still disturb you? Do you notice the same unhelpful reactions popping up? With clarity comes choice. Once you recognize a pattern, say, snapping at interruptions or fearing failure, you can apply Stoic lessons directly to that trigger, rather than letting it control you. Your journal entries can be as brief or as detailed as you like, but consistency is key. Even 2 sentences a day can yield profound insights over time. You might note a quote that inspired you, perhaps Marcus Aurelius reminding himself that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, and then record how you embodied that principle. Consider ending each entry with an intention. Tomorrow, I will respond calmly when criticized, or I will seek stillness before making decisions. These intentions keep Stoicism active, not just theoretical. Over weeks and months, reread your entries. Celebrate your victories. Observe how your understanding deepens. You'll see yourself moving, from reaction toward response, from confusion toward clarity. Journaling is not a chore, it's a gift to your future self. It creates a private dialogue where you learn, forgive, and inspire yourself. In the midst of chaos, your journal becomes a refuge of perspective, a place where thoughts settle and your true priorities shine through. So pick up a pen or open a digital note. Begin today. Write honestly. Reflect deliberately. Your path to inner mastery depends on the clarity you cultivate, one entry at a time. Stoic Lesson number 12. Choose high-value companions. Your circle shapes your character. The Stoics understood early on that the people you spend your time with influence your thoughts, habits, and even your destiny. Marcus Aurelius advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Surrounding yourself with wisdom, integrity, and kindness will lift your own life, while negativity can drag you down before you know it. Begin by taking an honest look at your closest relationships. Who sparks your best self? Who drains your energy? Which conversations leave you inspired, and which leave you irritated or deflated? Those who consistently encourage courage, honesty, and growth are allies on your Stoic journey. Those who foster drama, gossip, or fear only widen the gap between you and your ideals. Choosing high-value companions doesn't require dramatic breakups or harsh words. It means gradually investing more time in people who reflect the virtues you admire: discipline, generosity, calm, and gently stepping back from those whose influence feels discordant. Offer support to friends committed to self-improvement, and be willing to receive their feedback in return. Build a small tribe of honest, humble, and reliable individuals. Seek out mentors, too, people who have walked your path before. Their experience can shortcut your mistakes and open your eyes to deeper insights. Read their works, listen to their stories, and let their steadiness guide you through your own storms. But remember, relationships are a two-way street. As you choose better companions, commit to being a high-value friend yourself. Show up on time. Keep confidences. Speak with kindness and truth. Celebrate others' wins genuinely. That reciprocal loyalty creates an environment of trust where everyone thrives. You can also broaden your circle by joining communities aligned with your values: a book club, a meditation group, a volunteer team. Shared purpose cultivates connection, and that shared purpose keeps you accountable to your Stoic practice. In daily life, notice how conversations affect you. If a coffee chat leaves you anxious, perhaps it's time to steer future talks toward more constructive topics, or limit them. If a colleague's worldview feels narrow or cynical, observe it without judgment and then return to your own center. You cannot fix others, but you can choose where your attention goes. Ultimately, selecting high-value companions is not about elitism, it's about stewardship of your mind and heart. You're curating an environment that helps you grow, rather than one that excuses your worst impulses. This lesson honors your commitment to excellence and compassion, both for yourself and for those you hold close. Today, reflect on one relationship you'd like to strengthen, one conversation to have, one act of support to offer. And identify one relationship to gently limit, one boundary to set. These small choices will shape your path toward a life lived in harmony with Stoic virtue, and will remind you that true power often comes through the company we keep. Stoic Lesson 13: Resist the pull of comfort. Comfort is the siren song of modern life. We seek soft chairs, endless entertainment, and effortless convenience, yet the Stoics warn that too much ease dulls the spirit and weakens the will. True freedom is not found in shielding yourself from discomfort, it's found in having the strength to face life on its own terms, not on yours. The Stoics practiced what they preached. Cato wore simple clothing, Seneca occasionally fasted, Epictetus, once a slave, embraced hardship as a path to inner liberty. They understood that when you surrender to comfort, you surrender control of your character. You become a victim of your own cravings and habits, rather than the master of your own choices. Begin by noticing small moments when comfort beckons you to take the easy route. Maybe it's scrolling through your phone instead of reading a book. Maybe it's grabbing the elevator rather than the stairs. Each concession chips away at your resolve and teaches your mind that avoidance is the default. Instead, greet each invitation to ease as a chance to strengthen yourself. Next, cultivate intentional friction in areas that matter most to you. If mental clarity is your goal, start the day without caffeine or social media. If physical health is essential, push yourself through one extra set at the gym or extend your walk by 10 minutes. If emotional resilience is your aim, hold space for difficult conversations or sit with uncertainty instead of seeking distraction. By consistently choosing what's harder, whether it's a cold shower, a challenging task, or an honest self-reflection, you rewrite your internal narrative. You prove to yourself that you're not fragile, that you can endure, adapt, and thrive amid adversity. That knowledge becomes a shield when real hardships arrive. Remember Marcus Aurelius' words, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Choosing voluntary challenge trains your mind to expect strength rather than coddle weakness. It conditions you to face life's storms with equanimity, knowing you've already tested your wings. Resisting comfort doesn't mean living in deprivation, it means valuing growth over ease. It means understanding that the greatest comforts in life, purpose, courage, peace, come not from what you avoid, but from what you overcome. Each moment you step into mild discomfort, you invest in a future where you remain calm, capable, and keenly alive. Stoic Lesson 14. Speak with purpose. Words are powerful. They can heal or harm, build trust or shatter it, inspire action or sow doubt. Yet most of us speak on autopilot, filling silence with noise instead of choosing our words deliberately. The Stoics understood that true eloquence comes not from grand speeches, but from clear, purposeful communication. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This simple principle reminds us that every word you utter carries weight. When you speak with purpose, you align your speech with your values, honesty, kindness, and wisdom, making every conversation an opportunity to practice virtue. Begin by pausing before you speak. In that split second, ask yourself, is this necessary? Is it true? Is it kind? If not, reconsider. That pause transforms chatter into choice. It protects you from gossip, idle complaints, and needless arguments. It elevates your presence, because people sense when words come from calm intention rather than reactive habit. Next, speak concisely. Clarity honors both your time and the listeners. When you gather your thoughts and articulate a point succinctly, you show respect. You demonstrate that what you say matters, not just for the sake of filling silence, but for the sake of impact. A brief, well-placed insight can echo far longer than a torrent of empty words. Also, listen deeply. Purposeful speech begins with understanding of the other person, the situation, and the context. By listening first, you ensure your words address real needs and concerns. This builds trust and connection, because people feel seen and heard when you respond to their true message, not your own assumptions. Finally, let your tone reflect your intention. Calm honesty resonates more than aggressive force or passive muteness. Speak with warmth when offering support, with firmness when standing by your principles, and with humility when admitting mistakes. Your voice becomes a tool of integrity rather than impulse. Practicing purposeful speech isn't about perfect grammar or oratory flair, it's about authenticity. It's about ensuring that when you speak, you're acting in harmony with your highest values. That way, every conversation becomes a chance to embody Stoic strength, to spread calm, and to deepen both your own wisdom and the trust of those around you. Stoic Lesson 15. Be indifferent to praise or criticism. True freedom emerges when you release your need for others' approval. The Stoics taught that external opinions, whether glowing praise or harsh criticism, are beyond your control, and thus shouldn't dictate your worth or peace of mind. Epictetus reminds us, don't seek for everything to happen as you wish, but rather wish that everything happens as it does happen. This includes how people judge you. Imagine you complete a project and acclaim floods in. It's natural to feel proud, but if that praise becomes your measure of success, you'll be thrown off course the moment accolades fade. Conversely, when criticism stings, you might slump in self-doubt, questioning your abilities. In both cases, You've given your power away. Instead, anchor your self-worth in your own actions and intentions. Ask yourself, did I act with integrity? Did I uphold my values? If the answer is yes, then you've succeeded, regardless of applause or censure. Your compass is internal, not external. When someone praises you, acknowledge it with gratitude, and then return to your center. Don't let it inflate your ego or alter your behavior. When someone criticizes you, listen for truth, if any, learn what you can, then let the rest roll off. Criticism can be useful feedback, but it isn't a verdict on your soul. Practice this by observing your reactions. Next time you receive a compliment, notice any rush of vanity or pressure to maintain that image. Breathe deeply, smile, and remember that praise is a momentary breeze, not the ground you stand on. Likewise, when you face negative remarks, feel the discomfort, then remind yourself, these words reflect their perspective, not my reality. If this lesson spoke to you, imagine what mastering all of them could do. Stay on this path, like, share, and subscribe to Stoic Legacy for more timeless wisdom. Your calm, resilient self is just getting started.